Hello everybody, it is Incon and we are back here with our Smite support guides. I'm going to be releasing one guide a week that includes basically build and whatnot, but on every day of the week I'm going to be releasing a matchup guide for some of the main supports. So this video will cover basically your build order for Athena, your skill order for Athena, things like that. And then throughout the rest of the week, I'll be releasing things like how to play against a matchup Athena versus Geb, Athena versus Khepri, Athena versus Sobek. You know, the main other support matchups and how you want to play that matchup in lane. Those will be shorter videos. These videos covering the builds and skills will be a bit longer. And then, of course, I'll be releasing ranked videos like I have been a little bit on playing supports, and you can watch those for a general gameplay guide as well. So, getting right into this, it seems only appropriate that we get back into our support guides with the lovely Athena. So let's get right into this with the God Builder. Starting right off at the beginning of the game, you're going to be picking up Watcher's Gift. That's your starter item. There's pretty much no excuse for getting anything else. You used to be able to kind of get Vanguard against Ares, but if you do that, you're going to fall behind in gold. You're not going to get the massive sustain from the passive of Watcher's Gift. There's really no other item you should be going right now other than Watcher's Gift at the start of the game. At the very beginning of the game, you're going to have a couple options now. You buy Watcher's Gift, you've got quite a bit of gold left over, right? So you can either start your boots, which are going to be going cooldown boots on Athena. No exceptions. You're getting cooldown boots every time. They give you both the mana and cooldown that you desperately need on Athena. You can start tier 1 boots at the beginning, or you can go down and you can work on starting one of your actives. The only active you're going to get at level 1 is going to be Creeping Curse on Athena. If the enemy team has healers, you can start your weakening level 1. This also can give you kill potential in the lane depending on who you are going against. If you're not getting Creeping Curse at level 1, then go ahead and start your boots so you can get your cooldown and mana earlier. Heading into your first main core item, you have a couple options. The first obvious option is going to be Sovereignty. This item gives you everything that you need on support, the physical protections, a great aura. But it's not always the best option to go first. There are exceptions to that rule. One huge exception to that rule is if you're going against a magical ADC. If you're going against Freya, chances are you're going to want to go Heartward first. This is going to give your team a little bit of physical protections. It gives you MP5, which is amazing early. Generally, you're getting Heartward Amulet second after you get Sovereignty. But if you're against a heavy magical comp, if you're against an Owlquang jungle, you might want to think about it. If you're against a Freya ADC, if they have a mage in the middle and the solo lane, you might want to think about it. Things like that. Otherwise, if you're running a standard comp, you're going to want to get Sovereignty first. Now, here's another exception. There's a lot of variance in the builds right now. Another great item you might want to think about getting early is going to be Midgardian Mail. Midgardian Mail gives a 350 HP and 60 physical protections. If we compare that to Sovereignty, that's 150 more health and 5 more physical protections. So, when are you getting Midgardian Mail over Sovereignty? You're getting Midgardian Mail over Sovereignty when they're running double or triple attack speed comps. What do I mean by that? I mean they're running a Hunter, they're running a physical damage dealer in the jungle that's based on auto attacks, and they're running a solo laner based on auto attacks. So you're looking at if they're running Hu Yi in the ADC, Bellona in the jungle, Osiris solo. Okay? Something like that. That lets you pick up Midgardian Mail as your first item. If they have 3 times auto attack based characters, then the earlier you get something that reduces their attack speed, the better your team is going to be. It will benefit them more than Sovereignty. Chances are they're going to hit you either on purpose or on accident, and they're going to proc that Midgardian Mail passive, giving you a huge advantage. Finally, as far as core item goes, you have a couple options. You're looking at, we don't need to put it in core. We'll put it in our defensive items. For you're finishing up your build, you have a couple items. You're looking at Mail of Renewal. You're probably not going to get Mail of Renewal if you started Midgardian Mail. The reason being behind that is you're going to want a little bit more magical defense. If you went into a standard Sov Heartward, then Mail of Renewal I would recommend picking up as your next item. If you went Sovereignty Midgardian Mail or Midgardian Mail Sov, then you're probably going to want to go into, instead of another physical defense item, go ahead and get Spirit Robe. Spirit Robe still gives you cooldown like Mail of Renewal does, but it is going to give you that magical protection that you're probably going to desperately need in this build. But make sure within your first couple of items you're picking up Sovereign Heartward. The only exception to that rule pretty much is picking up a Mid-Guardian Mail early and then moving into your Sovereignty in your Heartward Amulet. Now, a couple other things that you could think about picking up towards the later part of the game. As one of your last items, if your team needs more damage, of course you can always go into Soul Reaver. It's a great way to get damage onto a support character, even if there's you know, if you're like, oh, I'm always taunting the hunter and following it up with a shield wall, well then maybe you want to pick up the Soul Reaver, get extra 15% that could help burst somebody down. Other than that on Athena, there's nothing really else that you would need outside of maybe a Void Stun. If your team is running a Mage mid and ADC, Mage solo plus jungle, whatever, you may want to pick up a Void Stone to help them get damage. Chances are they're not going to be able to pick up a Void Stone themselves, so that extra Aura Pen could help your team, but those are more situational type things. And of course, always a situational item on support is going to be Wing Blade. Depending on what build you go, if you go cooldown boots plus one of these two items, it's going to leave you with exactly 10% cooldown left to max it out. Wing Blade, one of the best items you can get to max out your cooldown if you only need 10% left. The health plus the passive, being probably one of the best passives in the game, is always super strong, is a situational item, though you don't want to run it against a team that only has 1 or 2 slows. So, for our actives on Athena, what are we looking at? Weakening Curse is always a great active if they have heals, right? We don't really need Blink on Athena anymore. It did get nerfed, so we're looking at team actives. We want Shell on Athena if possible. We want Heavenly Agility on Athena if possible. We don't need Hog anymore, but we are looking for these teamfight actives. Shell of Absorption, Heavenly Agility, Weakening Curse. These are going to be your 3 main actives on every single support that you're going to be playing pretty much right now at all levels of play. And of course, rounding it out, you always want to have your consumables in your wards right here, so they're easy for you to build. You don't have to go looking for them, clicking on tabs. This way you can easily pick them up as fast as you want. Reminder that you are building health potions and multi-potions at the start of the game, not health and mana on Athena. Because of Watcher's Gift, you'll get plenty of mana from the passive, which means you can get away with going multi-potion so you can play a little bit more aggressive. Going into our abilities now. At level 1, you're going to be picking up Shield Wall. Shield Wall does a ton of damage, arguably one of the most damage, I don't want to put that there. One of the best skills in the entire game as far as level 1 goes. Procs twice on the damage, does a ton of damage, great for clear, cooldowns alright. Shield Wall will be the skill that you're maxing first on Athena support. I know a lot of people want to level up the taunt first, but that's not what you want to do. You want to level up the Shield Wall first. This is going to help clear the wave. This is going to help clear the jungle camps. This is going to help you do early game damage and contribute to the level 5, 6, 7 team fights. The skill that you're going to rank up at level 2 and the skill that you'll rank up 3rd on Athena support is Preemptive Strike. This is your dash ability. Yeah, there we go. We can do that here. The reason why you rank this up 3rd is, yes, it reduces the cooldown, and yes, it increases the slow duration, but the main part about Athena is your taunt. Your taunt, typically, you're going to get at level 4, because you want to put a 3rd point into Shield Wall, or a 2nd point into Shield Wall at level 3. At level 4, you're going to get Confound. Confound is your taunt, really straightforward. All it does is rank up the taunt duration up to a max 2nd of 2. This is the skill you rank up 2nd on Athena. Very powerful. This is the reason why Athena is one of the strongest characters in the game as far as support goes, is because of her taunt Confound. And the skill that you're going to level up at level 5, and then you're going to level it up last on Athena, is Defender of Olympus. It does increase the damage by 100 every time you level it up, but you gain a lot more crowd control from leveling up your other abilities. You gain more damage from just leveling up your 3 on a consistent basis. You can't always consistently land the ultimate damage that requires a teammate, but you do get it at level 5, and you rank it up last. Note of the passive on Athena. Every time you use an ability, you throw your spear then, and it's an AoE. It goes through characters, and it does 25% bonus of your magical power. Utilize this when you are lane clearing to get an advantage in the lane as far as clear goes. Athena, one of the better supports as far as clearing goes. Alright guys, that's the basic of Athena. Remember to tune into the other videos this week if you want to know how laning matchups go against other top supports. I will be covering those in the videos following this week. And of course next week I'll be releasing an entirely new build and skill guide for another support. Thanks guys for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the Twitchiest community on YouTube and Twitch. And as always, have a twitchin' day, y'all.